on, fellow junkies, and welcome back. Horror Junkies 519, Kyle the 13th, coming at you again. So today I'm going to go ahead and step out of my alphabet series reviews. I'm going to go ahead and step into a movie that just showed up on my porch today. To my best of knowledge, I thought it was coming out next month, February 13th, I thought. But you know what? It showed up today, and I went ahead and watched it, me and Angelina, and I'm going to go ahead and say we both liked it. But I got to dig into this review so you guys can see if you guys are going to watch it or not. So that's going to be Hellraiser Judgment, you guys. Brand new movie that just is coming out. It's supposed to be coming out next month, but I got it today. Can you hold it? I have to do this review before I can go, okay? Cenobites. What can you do? So, yeah, that's my garb here. I opened the box again, and apparently they're taking me with them this time. They said I've had too many chances, and yeah. So, getting right into this movie, you guys. This was directed by Gary J. Tunnicliffe. Yep, butchered the shit out of that. Unless that's exactly how you say it, who knows? So, directed by that guy. I looked into the rest of his movies that he's directed. I don't really recognize anything that else he's done. But I looked into his writing credits, and he did write Hellraiser Revelations, which was the last Hellraiser that everybody hated but me. So that might be a reason you guys might just shut this review off and not listen to a word I say. But he did write a few other things about Hellraiser than Hellraiser Revelations, so maybe he has some merit. So definitely give him a chance, you guys. So going into this movie, you guys, a familiar face. Leading up to this movie, I was under the impression that this person had way more of a part in this movie than she actually did. So that person is Heather Langenkamp, Nancy Thompson from Nightmare on Elm Street. I kind of was led to believe that she was going to be in this movie a lot more, but she was in it for a good solid 3 seconds. Then I look on IMDb, and yep, her name was Landlady, so she didn't even get a name. That's kind of crazy. For how kind of a big star she is in the horror community. One thing I wanted to kind of say about her, one thing I didn't really care for is, I don't know if she's just not aging well, or they just made her kind of look, take a look at the cover, sorry, if they just wanted her to look bad or not, but yeah, she definitely looked like she was rode wet, or rode hard and put away wet a couple times, you guys. It kind of sucks, but yeah, I was really hoping more from her in this movie. So to go ahead and get right into the plot, you guys, I definitely want to get into this one because these plots sometimes confuse the hell out of me, but I think I got this one down on lock. So there's two detectives and their brothers. They're on a case trying to discover this gruesome serial killer that is just killing people all over the place, and just they kind of have a tie with the 10 Commandments, like thou shalt not steal, so he kills a person for that reason, which kind of leads me to believe that it's a little bit kind of like Saw. Like, if I were to fall asleep during this movie and woke up in the middle of it, I would have kind of been led to believe that I was watching a Saw movie before a Hellraiser movie. I do believe that. So that's kind of something weird about that. So to continue on, like I said, two brothers are detectives. They are on a case trying to figure out this gruesome serial killer. They kind of get really far into it, and they eventually get a female detective that comes in and helps them out. And, you know, they're just kind of digging through this maze of horror, and just like, before you know it, they kind of realize that this might be beyond this world. So, you know, Cenobites. To kind of get into more of it, like, it all starts out in his house. This guy gets a letter, then tells him to go to this address. He goes to this address, and it's like, the Cenobites are there. So I'm wondering if this house is supposed to be like a gateway to hell, because not necessarily does the puzzle box get opened, and then that's when the Cenobites come. These new Cenobites that I think they're Cenobites, they were never really specified exactly. They all kind of had their own name, kind of like the Cenobites do. So a few of the new Cenobites were actually pretty cool. So, but I'll get into that later. So that guy goes in, he kind of gets questioned and stuff like that. They just find out how despicable he is, and then they judge him. So, Hellraiser Judgment, there you go. But one of the detectives ends up going there and stealing one of the puzzle boxes. And so that's when kind of things start really picking up in this movie, and that's kind of really all I want to give you for the plot. This movie is really worth watching, you guys. One cool thing about this movie is it definitely does feel like a lot of the releases that Dimensions did early on, like Bloodline, everything from Bloodline all the way to Hellworld probably. Like, you know, it feels like they have a story, but they just throw Hellraiser and Cenobite stuff into it. But I feel like this one was a lot more entertaining, so I kind of forgave it a little bit more than a lot of the other ones, because the other ones were pretty damn boring. But going with that, I do still feel like this was written to be a Hellraiser movie. If I find out later it wasn't, I'll definitely let you know. But going ahead and getting into the things I liked about this movie, like I said, I haven't gotten to my likes yet. I really did like the atmosphere of this movie. It definitely did have a dark and gritty kind of feeling, and like you could just tell like a lot of these people were kind of disgusting and a little bit despicable that were going into the house. So, I mean, you definitely get a feeling that it's could be otherworldly a little bit. Other things I liked, I mean, most of this was practical effects. There was a little bit of CGI towards the end. I mean, it wasn't great CGI, but all the practical effects they did was damn good. I really did like that they went this practical effects route. But of course, at the end, they had to have a little bit of CGI. I won't delve into the kill, I guess. But I'm going to go with practical effects. We're on point on this movie, so that was something awesome. I'm going to go ahead and say something else I liked was the Cenobites / Pinhead. Like the Cenobites that they kind of, the new ones they kind of have. And one of them, the one you see the most, he's got like cuts all over his face. He's kind of like a Pinhead looking character, but instead of being all symmetrical, they're just kind of all over his face. And he wears like, you know, dark sunglasses, a suit, and stuff like that. You see him probably the most out of any of the Cenobites, but he was pretty cool. I liked him. There's another Cenobite that looks exactly like Billy Pond's, Bloody Bill's doll boy, which I thought was really weird. So I don't know if that was a shout out to Billy Pond or something like that, but it should be because it looked a lot like Doll Boy. But riding on Doll Boy's back was another Cenobite that was kind of like in like really tight pleather outfit. He was wearing like a gas mask and stuff like that, and he had like those bone knives that are like, you know, to scrape skulls, meat out of skulls and stuff like that. So a lot of cool little Cenobites in this. There's definitely some weird things in here that I also did like, I guess. I guess like the Cenobite riding the other Cenobite, that was a little bit weird. So another thing I liked about this movie, definitely, like I said, I guess I want to talk about Pinhead. I feel like this guy definitely looked better than the guy in Revelations, but I still feel like it just looks a little off. Like, I know we're never going to have a guy that looks exactly like Doug Bradley. I believe this guy does a little better than the last one. But he looks hella good. I really enjoyed his look. You know it's not Doug Bradley. I feel like he still has a very prominent chin compared to Doug, but he's not like the jawed bastard from Revelations, because that guy's jaw was ridiculous. So let's go ahead and get to the things I dislike. I didn't really write anything down for this one, you guys, so that's why I'm kind of racking my brain a little bit. Things I didn't like. There was a Cenobite that I believe is a Cenobite, was just a fat guy in a suit with no shirt on. He was eating paper covered in children's tears. It was just weird, and it was just kind of gross. But yeah, it was kind of weird, that aspect. Like, I like the fact that they were trying different things, but that guy was just gross. If you're gonna be like a Cenobite, be a Cenobite. Don't be a regular guy that's just gonna eat paper doused in kids' tears. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into my rating for this movie, you guys. Out of, like always, this is gonna be out of 10. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a solid 7. I really did enjoy this movie. It was one of those movies where I was waiting. Excuse me. A lot of the old Hellraisers had these points where, like, you know, the detectives or the person was trying to figure out what was going on, and it gets really freaking boring. But this one, I was waiting for the boring part, and it didn't come. I was still entertained throughout a majority of this movie. I didn't look at my clock and wondering when this was going to be over, so that is good on this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's way better than Revelations, you guys. I think they did a lot better this time. I still feel like I still like Revelations, and I think I might like it more the more people say they don't like it. It might be one of those things, I guess. But this one, I highly recommend you guys. I really want you to check it out and see what you guys think of it. And let me know. Do a video so I can check out what you guys think. So, apparently I'm being called. This is really getting old, so I'm going to go ahead and end this review so I can just deal with whatever I got to deal with here. So that's going to do it for me. Horror Junkies 509 signing out. Just until next time, you guys. And I'm hoping you guys are having a killer day out there. And you guys already know it. I've been sentenced to life. I'm a horror lifer. You guys have a good one. Yo, what's going on, fellow junkies, fellow horror fans, subscribers, the new and the old? I hope you guys really enjoyed what you saw here. If you guys want to leave me a like and a comment, let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you guys can come back and see me again. Horror Junkies 509, Kyle the 13th. That's right, I'm a horror lifer.